Calandra Quindiniar sat at the huge, polished scroll desk, adding up the last month's earnings. Her white fingers darted rapidly over the abacus, sliding the beads up and down, muttering the figures aloud to herself as she wrote them in the old leather-bound ledger. Her handwriting was much like herself, thin, upright, precise, and easy to read. Above her head whirled 4 plumes made of swan's feathers, keeping the air moving. Despite the suffocating mid-cycle heat outside, the interior of the house was cool. It stood on the highest elevation in the city, and so obtained the breeze that otherwise was often lost in the jungle vegetation. The house was the largest in the city, next to the royal palace. Lenthan Quindiniar had the money to build his house larger than the royal palace, but he was a modest elf and knew his place. The rooms were spacious and airy, with high ceilings and numerous windows, and the magical system of flutter fans, at least one in every room. The living rooms were on the 2nd floor and were open and beautifully furnished. Drawn shades darkened and cooled them during bright hours of the cycle. During storm time, the shades were raised to catch the refreshing, rain-drenched breezes. Calandra's younger brother, Pathan, sat in a rocking chair near the desk. He rocked lazily back and forth, a palm fan in his hand, and watched the rotation of the swan's wings above his sister's head. Several other fans were visible to him from the study, the fan in the living room, and beyond that, the fan in the dining area. He watched them all waft through the air, and between the rhythmic flutter of the wings and the clicking of the beads of the abacus and the gentle creaking of his chair, he fell into an almost hypnotic trance. A violent explosion that shook the 3-level house jolted Pathan upright. "Damn!" he said, looking irritably at a fine sifting of plaster, made from a compound of calcium deposits taken from the bones of dead animals and processed with other organic elements to form a pliable paste, that was falling from the ceiling into his iced drink. His sister snorted and said nothing. She had paused to blow plaster off the page of the ledger, but did not miss a figure. A wail of terror could be heard, coming from the level down below. "That'll be the new scullery maid," said Pathan, rising to his feet. "I better go and comfort her. Tell her it's only father." "You'll do no such thing," snapped Calandra, neither raising her head nor ceasing to write. "You'll sit right there and wait until I'm finished so that we can go over your next trip north. It's little enough you do to earn your keep, idling about with your noble friends, doing Orn knows what. Besides, the new girl's a human, and an ugly one at that." Calandra returned to her addition and subtraction. Pathan subsided good-naturedly back into his chair. "I might have known," he reflected, "that if Calandra'd hire a human at all, the girl'd be some little pig-faced wretch. That's sisterly love for you. Ah, well, I'll be on the road soon, and then what dear Cal doesn't know won't hurt her." Pathan rocked. His sister muttered. The fans whirred contentedly. The elves revere life, and so magically endow it on nearly all their creations. The feathers were under the illusion that they were still attached to the swan. Pathan, watching them, thought that this might be a good analogy for their entire family. They were all under the illusion that they were still attached to something, perhaps even each other. His peaceful reverie was interrupted by the appearance of a charred, singed, and disheveled man, who bounded into the room, rubbing his hands. "That was a good one, don't you think?" he said. The man was short for an elf, and had obviously once been robustly plump. The flesh had begun to sag lately. The skin had turned sallow and slightly puffy, though it could not be told beneath the soot. The grey hair standing up around a large bald spot on his head revealed that he was in his middle years. Other than his greying hair, it might have been difficult to guess the elf's age, because his face was smooth and unwrinkled. Too smooth. His eyes were bright. Too bright. He rubbed his hands and looked anxiously from daughter to son.